Hello and welcome to another episode of the Hotkeys podcast. This is a show where we talk about everything pop culture and random in the world, and we take shortcuts to get there. I'm your host, Mick, and today I'm joined by
Colby Chapman,
David Parker,
and this is Briana Parker.
Hey, welcome to the show, guys. It is July 16th, 2022.
Landon is working, and Will is really, really sick. So I bullied my wife to come on the show for a little bit before she goes to hang out with friends. So
she's been on.
She's been on one before.
Of Landon
or murderer.
Oh no!
Landon Browning.
Why didn't we lock the door?
So the listeners won't see this, but or won't understand this, but so I'm looking at the camera, looking at both Michael and Colby, and above Colby's head appears Landon for half a second in his work clothes, because I guess he's swinging by his house to pick up crap he needs for work, and then he's leaving again. Oh, here he comes.
Say hello.
My name's Colby.
Oh, okay, never mind. Oh, what are you doing, man? Knock it off. Are you sitting down? Do you want a mic?
Michael, take us somewhere, please.
I'm going to take you away from Landon, and we're going to go to Stranger Things.
Hawkins, Indiana?
All the way to Hawkins, Indiana.
The strangest thing is that Landon said he wasn't going to show up.
Indiana, Jones. So Colby has not finished the show.
No, I have the last episode.
I have finished the show.
Bree and I just finished season 4
Landon
last night.
has not finished the show. But you guys have finished the show, so
Yes.
we're going to talk about it and try not to spoil
Up
things.
until episode 8. I'm sorry, Landon's being a major distraction.
And he's gone again.
And he's gone. So yeah, what'd you guys think about season 4 as a whole?
I actually really liked it. I've always liked Stranger Things, but it was never like anywhere near one of my favorite shows. I kind of just thought it was fun.
I've always.
I think season 4 might be my favorite though, out of all of the seasons. I really, really enjoyed it.
I think so far I have not finished the show. I still have the last episode, which is like 2.5 hours long. So there's a lot of stuff to still be covered for me. But as of right now,
The last episode is just the end credit scene.
Oh, okay. So I'm not missing much.
And bloopers.
Demodog 1, Demodog 2, Demodog 3.
So, I think it's a close second favorite of mine. I still really like season 3
What's your favorite show
of all time, or just like at the
of
moment.
all time? Blue's Clues?
Criminal Minds.
OG
No,
with Steve?
I was gonna say with Steve, yes. With Joe, no.
Joe is
Joe
a
is a
no-go.
Joe is a no. No, I don't know. I would honestly say that Stranger Things has always been kind of like a top 3 for me ever since it came out.
I think right now it's definitely my favorite show.
Mm-hmm.
I even put it up above Lost.
I mean, come on. Like, I feel like you're far enough away from Lost that it's not hard to say that you like shows better than Lost.
Lost is still really good. Lost still holds up. I just watched it.
Is it
last
better
week.
than Criminal Minds?
By only a lot.
What about The Big Bang Theory?
Oh, it does.
Stop.
Nothing
Stop.
on that.
Young Sheldon.
The best
No.
comedy. What'd you think of the Stranger Things 4, Brie?
I really liked it, actually. I think Stranger Things has never really like grabbed my attention a whole lot, but this one I found myself enjoying, I think, more than the other ones. It has a lot of good cliffhangers and it keeps you watching. But I really liked this season. I think maybe my favorite part though is the subtitles. Like, I can't get for people who watch with subtitles.
Do you guys watch with subtitles?
No.
I usually do, but for Stranger Things, I actually turn them off.
Oh, okay. Well, so for you people who are weirdos and don't watch with subtitles, I know it's just like everything is synth music. So it'll be like determined synth music, emotional, tender synth music,
Melodious synth music. Yeah. Melancholy synth music.
Running up that hill, Kate Bush.
Confused. Yeah. Confused synth music. Yeah, and then running up that hill, Kate Bush, like every other episode. So. Yeah. Whoever was deciding, whoever was writing the subtitles, they did their due diligence with the synth music adjectives they added to the show. So
That's funny.
I do like the music though. Like not to. the subtitles were kind of funny, but the music itself I actually do enjoy a lot in Stranger Things.
I think Stranger Things is a show that does a really, really good job of using the music to help like teleport you to, in this case, like 1986. It's been, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like every time, or just the 80s in general, like, because, you know, this is season 4, so the last 3 seasons I felt like I was just kind of in the 80s, like just with, whether it's like real songs or synth music, like they just do a good job of like.
And I think and this kind of goes hand in hand with this topic, but I think one thing people have had issues with Stranger Things in the past is that it was too much like an 80s nostalgia thing where they try to throw too much stuff at you sometimes. And I think this season was the best at that, where it was it didn't feel like you were kind of inundated with constant references from the 80s. I don't think the show did it a ton in the past, but I think there were moments where it kind of felt a little heavy, and this season in particular I felt was the most engaging, or most immersive in that way, that it didn't feel like you were getting beat over the head about like what time period you're in, and it felt less and less like some weird love letter to the 80s from these filmmakers, as opposed to like a really good horror TV show.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. Dave, you mentioned that your new favorite character is a character that was introduced this season, which is always kind of crazy. I don't know, like I totally understand where you're coming from, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like it's really hard for a show to introduce a new character in that same season.
I would
Everybody
agree.
falls in love with them.
I would agree.
Is it
Like,
the
and
pizza
they
guy?
introduced. I love
Argyle?
I love him.
Oh no,
I love
I
Argyle.
really do love Argyle. He's really funny. My dudes. I really do love Argyle, but no, the character I am referring to that I told, I think.
Wait, can we guess?
Yeah, sure.
Is it?
Well, I told Colby knows.
Yeah, it's Jason.
I knew it.
He's the jock.
Oh, go ahead, guess, Mick.
Is it Eddie?
I mean, that was going to be my second guess.
Yeah, it's Eddie. Of course it's Eddie. Like, come on. I think after
It's either Eddie or it's Enzo.
after finishing this season, I think he might be my favorite character in the entire show, Eddie. And that's saying a lot, because there are a lot of great characters in this show. I also really did like Argyle. Like he's
hilarious.
really funny. He's like good comedic like levity in the show, where there's not a lot of like really funny moments or characters, and I think that's more of a testament to like who he is as a person in the show, and not like it never seemed like he was like out of character or that he didn't fit in with the rest of the people, because he was like this laid back California guy, you know. So I did like him a lot too. I thought he was really funny. And then the other guy, is his name Murray? What's his name?
Murray.
Oh,
He's not
the
new to
smuggler?
this.
No, I know.
this
I know he's
series,
not new to
but-
the series, but this was my favorite season of him. Like he was probably like a top 5 character for, like, I don't know what it is. I like all the main characters, but my favorite characters in this show are all kind of those secondary characters. I think they do them like really, they do them justice, I think, and in particular in this season.
They make it so it doesn't feel like they are just supporting cast.
Exactly. Yeah, and
they're interesting and unique enough to like really stand out.
Yeah, and this is not a spoiler for the last episode, but everyone has their part to play, and everyone is extremely important where they are, and like without pretty much any of these primary, secondary, and some of like even tertiary characters, like something else happens basically. So I would say they make all of the characters compelling and important, and that's something that this season did exceptionally well.
Yeah, I would agree. You said that this was your favorite season. I would say each season just got better and better. I still like all the seasons, but yeah, to me it just improved on itself over and over again.
I got my mom to watch Stranger Things recently, because I was telling her like, oh yeah, I'm watching season 4 of this show, and then I talked to her like a week later, and she's like, oh yeah, I just finished season 2. And I was like, what? I was like, you watched like 18 hours worth of Stranger Things in a week? But I guess that's just a testament to how good of a show it is, how captivating it can be.
I think too, this show or this season was the scariest. I would say it was the most horrifying, probably. And I don't know, maybe I'm just like, as I'm getting older, I'm enjoying horror more or something, but I think there was something about that I really liked about this show.
Well, yeah, it was definitely the most like visually gruesome.
Well, and just visually scary. Like,
It was pretty spooky.
I was spooked.
Yeah, but I would say I wish you finished the.
I'm sorry.
Because a lot of things happen in the last episode.
I can imagine. And like I said, it's 2.5 hours.
A lot can happen in 2.5 hours.
Were you guys satisfied with where the last episode ended?
I mean, I don't want to talk a lot about because of Colby, but I'd say overall, probably. I mean, there's some things I want to be different, but can't really talk about it.
Cover your ears, Colby.
There you go.
He put his hands over the cans of his headphones.
Yeah, I was really happy with the end, and I'm excited if they do another one. Maybe they won't. Maybe they will.
I heard
you have to watch the last episode to figure out.
Okay, that was the plan. But like, aren't they already teasing a season 5?
Are they?
That's what I saw on Twitter. I'm trying to avoid a bunch of spoilers, but it's
The
like
Duffer Brothers are teasing it.
No, it wasn't them.
Oh, then it doesn't count. They're the masterminds behind the show.
just stay off Twitter till you finish that last episode, Colby.
When are you going to finish it? Today?
Probably tomorrow.
What do you got going on today?
Family stuff.
Can I come? So anyway,
I think it might be weird.
So that was Stranger Things 4 talk by us.
And we'll probably talk about it more once Colby finishes it too. I mean, are
I'm
Will
sorry.
Will and Landon, do they watch the show? Are they into it? I don't
Landon
quite
does.
remember.
Landon said he's 2 episodes behind.
He just finished 7, so
Okay.
he has not seen any of part 2 yet. Will watched like 4 episodes of season 1 like 6 years ago, and then just stopped watching
Okay.
Gosh, that's
because
crazy.
of like life events. So I was like, yeah, well, I mean, I think you would really enjoy the show, Will. I think you should.
The show is so
like,
good.
Like you should. Like you, I don't know. I was like, I think you should just kind of like get over it and watch it. He's like, yeah, maybe I should. And I was like, well, I mean, like, you've got a ton of free time. You love TV shows.
And
you
they're
love strange things.
They're short. They're
Zinger.
They're short seasons too, so it's not like it's that big of a commitment.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm trying to get him to watch it, but as far as like, spoilers, I don't really care about talking about him because he's like 4 seasons behind.
That's true.
So like if I say like if I'm talking to you and I'm like, oh yeah, like I was really surprised when, spoiler alert, like Vecna was number 1 from the Rainbow Room. It's like,
Papa?
yeah, like Will wouldn't get that. You know what I mean? And I don't think he would remember.
Will's
it
like,
in
I like
time.
Rainbow Rooms.
My favorite episode, and never mind. No, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So
Or like,
because
or he probably wouldn't even understand. Like, hey, I like that they redeemed Steve.
yeah. Well, like at the start of the season, like it's just like such a hard show to like follow if you don't know about it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like the language is just like foreign, like Vecna.
Because it's all D&D based.
Yeah, like
There's like 3 D&D terms they use in this show.
that's way too many for me to follow.
They said D20.
There was a lot there was a lot I like they took advantage of in this, kind of like the satanic panic kind of thing of like the 80s and parents being scared of
Like, oh, D&D is a cult. And
yeah, yeah, and like stuff like that then the jocks kind of ran with and ended up getting the whole town freaked out about these people playing D&D. That
Yeah.
so
I thought that was a really good plot line.
Well, there's this
because they don't talk
character.
about like the evils
Because
of
they're
D&D. Okay. They don't talk
That's why
about
I
the
don't
evils of D&D in previous seasons, do they? Like parents?
I don't
or
think so.
anything?
I think
don't
they
think
just kind of like push it off as like nerdy from like the other character's perspective.
Then they named it Hellfire,
fortunate.
and everyone freaked out.
Yeah. So there's a new character that was introduced this season, like the main jock, and his name is Jason. And he kind of starts this witch hunt for a character named Eddie, who is in Hellfire, and then it just kind of dwells into like everybody against like the main posse of like Stranger Things, I guess. Just because.
Yeah, and Lucas, he was involved with the basketball team, and so he was kind of like being pulled 2 ways.
Yeah, he's in the middle of it all. Yeah, I thought they did a pretty good job with that. He kind of had like some redeeming qualities too. Like, cause like you start the show and you're like, oh, okay, Lucas is like drifted apart almost.
Yeah, I feel like they could have like
That
really
went unexplained.
played into kind of a stereotype, but they I mean they kind of did, but they flipped it backwards too. Where
He had like a mini redemption arc.
yeah. I think they could have easily just been like, oh, Lucas is now not a part of the group anymore because that happens
And
all
maybe
the
he'll be an
time.
antagonist next season.
Yeah.
She'll be like, but
Yeah, I would say Lucas was at his best in this season.
what do you guys think of his little sister Erica?
I think she's hilarious.
I think she's pretty funny too.
She doesn't look like she's 11, but but also none of the kids look like they're their age. They all look like they're
Yeah.
18 or 19 or 20, and you're like,
Yeah,
I
'cause
guess
they
we're supposed
are.
to pretend they're 14.
Yeah.
That's kind of the problem you get with these kind of shows is that when you start recording early
think-
and then you have years and
Yeah.
years in between, but then there's not a lot of time in between the seasons. Game of Thrones kind of had the same problem too. So
Game of Thrones, weren't they like? Isn't Jon Snow supposed to be like 14 in the books or something?
yes, Daenerys too is 14.
Did they run with that in the show too?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I was gonna
but
say,
also like
like,
even the younger
Jon
kids,
Snow is
the
like
younger kids
an
are like
adult with a
7
beard.
and 9 and stuff. So like a lot of the kids in the book are actually children. So yeah, they didn't do that in the show, but also in the show, you still have the problem of when you start recording and you're 12 and then you're, a couple seasons later and you look like you're 20. So
What's the best property that pulled that off? Probably Harry Potter, right?
maybe I think Harry
'Cause
Potter
I think
did a pretty good job
They only
with that.
they only like missed one. I think they skipped 1 year, so they were like a year ahead. But I think they filmed each movie when they were at the proper age.
I mean, they also lucked out that the people they had for primary cast didn't ever really look super old when they were young adults.
Yeah.
So
Like I could believe that like Dustin was 14 or
I still think a lot of the kids look appropriate for. Like,
Lucas looks pretty old.
Lucas is probably the one that had the most like glow up.
And then, but
I don't know. Finn
Steve-
Wolfhard also looks like. I don't know if he looks.
But he's
14.
he's so gangly that he
Yeah.
can pass as like a teenager.
yeah, he looks like a Who from Whoville, like an emo Who.
Well, and then Will's hair, he just looks like another Who. Like,
Yeah.
Gosh, that's the biggest villain
bowl
of the
cut.
whole show is Will's haircut.
It's-
He's never had a proper haircut.
I'm avoiding a lot of spoilers, but there's so many memes about his like head that I can't look away. Like that scene where he's in the car, like crying, and he's like his head's turned away from Mike, and I just see like what Mike sees, and it's like a potato with like a bowl cut. Like- but yeah, I don't know. I think like Steve, I guess, could pass as 19 because he graduated. You know what I mean?
Well,
I
he's
think
at
that's
that,
how old he's.
The actor's at the age where it's like it's harder to tell.
yeah, he's in the
more
18 to
that's
30
true,
range,
Colby.
so it depends on hairstyle, makeup, and stuff. But he can pull
Yeah.
off a bigger swath than someone who is like a 12-year-old has a harder time passing as 18, and vice versa. So.
Yeah, Max looks kind of old.
She seems young to me.
I mean, the one guy
like-
who looked like actually really old to me was Eddie. So when he first came up, I was like, how old is this dude anyway? What's he supposed to pass for? And then it turns out he was repeating years. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, he was like a super senior, so it worked out.
Yeah, yeah, he does look kind of old.
Dude, I want to rewatch season 4 just for Eddie.
He was awesome.
I didn't like Eddie at first, but he grew on me so fast.
I feel like I liked him right away, but I have heard like a lot of people kind of it had the Steve effect where they didn't like him at first, but then they really liked him at the end.
I've always loved Steve.
Maybe I just
I'm Team Steve.
empathized.
Steve's the one.
Maybe I just empathized with him like right off the bat because like I understood the plight of like this guy trying to
Being a
organize,
guitar player
trying to
and,
organize like a nerdy get together that is sometimes difficult and hard to like get good people involved. So maybe I understood his plight or something. And the hair.
And the hair. You and Eddie have
Yep.
the same hair.
and the
I
drug.
want that on the record.
And the drugs, yeah.
And the clock. I had the clock hanging up in the woods next to my drug.
and the What do you guys think of Vecna as antagonist?
I thought he was
I liked his-
I thought he was a good antagonist.
I liked his origin story.
Yeah, that to me, like I was maybe I was like stupid, but that like was such a surprise to me.
Me too.
I was like, what? No way.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean,
What do
you
you guys?
Like,
you
I didn't
knew
understand.
you knew that the orderly was one though, right? Like that. I felt
No,
was,
even that to me was like,
I felt that was like really like right away. It seemed very obvious.
well, like I rewatched some of the episodes, and that like after that I was like, yeah, it is kind of obvious that like he's that he is actually one, but I don't know, something about.
But yeah, because they keep hinting to it, like with 11. You're like, why?
He's like, do you know who you remind me of? You remind me of me. I mean, one.
Yeah.
I want to know why she was trusting like the creepiest looking mofo in the whole like establishment. Like,
But his hair was combed to the side, so he looked like a good guy.
I told Bree that he
it wasn't until his hair was slicked back.
he
that
looks
then
like
he was a
Malcolm.
villain.
He looks like a young Malcolm McDowell from like Clockwork Orange. Like that's not the kind of
Oh, he
person
does.
you trust.
I think they actually took inspiration from Clockwork Orange with his character.
if they didn't do it intentionally, they did it accidentally because he
that's
straight
the
up
other
looks
option.
like.
If it wasn't intentional, it was unintentional.
Whoa.
No, I mean, he was like the only one that was nice to her, though. So
That is
like,
true.
it makes sense why she like, gravitated towards him.
And she saw him being tortured by Papa.
Yeah.
Papa. Papa. What do you guys think of Papa?
Landon's returned.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, I thought you were gonna kiss Colby.
Get away from me. Landon just walks into the
That
room,
was really disturbing.
interrupts, stands over my chair, and then just like
And they gave you the
leans into
sloppiest
mic.
kiss I've ever seen.
He just leans into the mic, but like he didn't ask me to move. or
Colby's
anything.
face is still dripping.
Can I get a napkin?
Yeah, what do you guys think of Papa's I guess arc and ending?
I thought that was fine. I forgot that he was even alive when they
Felt
showed
like he
him.
died like three times.
For
in
some
the
reason,
series.
when I saw him, I was like, oh, they're showing a flashback of him, and I just had a weird vague memory of him dying like at the end of season 1 or something. But then I guess he's been in other seasons too, and he was still alive, and I just totally forgot that. So
Yeah, you have to work, Landon.
Yeah. Where are you going, Landon?
Up on the South Hill. Is it nice up there?
You should stop and get Azel's chicken. It's right there by Target.
we saw Thor. Brie and I did the other night, and then Mick, you've seen it, right?
Oh, love and thunder. That was the theme song from
Yep.
the movie. Did you guys remember that theme song?
Yeah, I do remember that completely.
Sing the theme song, Brie.
Okay, well, you watched the movie and probably had the most critical opinion of it, Mick. So, what are your thoughts?
I thought the movie was trash. Thought it sucked. It was a stupid movie. I was disappointed with it.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, I am.
Well, now I don't take you seriously because the way you said that.
No, really, the only things I liked about the movie was Christian Bale
Natalie Portman.
and Natalie Portman. I thought that the movie should have been about Natalie Portman, and Chris Hemsworth shouldn't have been in the movie at all because he was a complete moron.
Gotcha. I have not seen the movie. I'm going to, but I've heard that Christian Bale is like one of the best like villains.
He's really good, but at the same time, he's also just underused,
Okay.
which was kind of a shame. But every scene that he's in, he is really good.
Wait, is he like a top 3 Marvel villain then?
Top 3.
I put Thanos at 1.
Man, Whiplash has to be up there.
Yeah.
Which one was Whiplash again?
Iron Man 2 villain.
Oh yeah, all right, Whiplash.
I want my bird.
Yeah.
What about
This is not my bird.
what's his name? Kevin Slattery? Trevor Slattery.
Heaven Slattery.
He doesn't even count as a villain anymore, right?
He was a villain for other reasons.
For his acting.
Just for being in the Marvel universe. Yeah, what did you guys think of Thor?
I haven't seen it.
Not talking to you.
Oh.
I enjoyed it. I think Taika's had better movies, but I'm I have a bias when it comes to his the films that he's made. But no, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun to watch.
Did you guys? Because to me, like what you said, it didn't really feel like his best movie. To me, it felt like someone trying to do his humor Because to me, like, I do think that he has like a very, very specific style and humor. And to me, all of his other movies have been like really good. Like, I enjoyed Ragnarok. I thought Ragnarok was a lot of fun. But this to me felt like someone really trying to be like him and just failing at it. I don't know. Did you guys kind of get that sense at all? Or?
I actually also was not a very big fan of this movie. I did not like it very much, which is funny because I think the biggest problem I had with the movie was Natalie Portman.
Oh, really?
Yes. I think
is that because of your distaste for women actresses? I mean,
yes, Colby, that's exactly why. You know me,
you also
big misogynist.
Just like
I think I understand though where you're coming from. I think the movie either needed to have her not in it or be just about her. I think she didn't fit the tone of the movie, and I think if other people were out of the movie and she was the only one in, that the movie would have been different tonally and it could have worked. But to me, from the very beginning, she just seemed like an entirely different character than from her previous appearances. I think the whole justification or understanding of how she became Thor never was very clear, concise, or made much sense, even in the universe of Marvel stuff. Which
it was a little flat,
which I think was problematic because it happened at the very beginning of the movie, and so much of the story hinges on her being this new character that it was like a poor foundation. So everything above it like was very shaky to me. I think that was my biggest issue. Was I think her character and her portrayal of that character. I don't know if it was writing or directing or what the problem was. I did like Chris Hemsworth in the movie. I thought he felt kind of like he did in Thor Ragnarok. I liked some of the other things. Like, I thought there were a lot of moments that I did find very funny, but there was so much other stuff that I didn't think worked in the movie that it wasn't enough to offset the problems I had with the film. So, I know, like, I've really liked Taika Waititi's movies. This is easily my least favorite of his movies. I don't think there's anything that comes close because all of his other movies I've enjoyed exceptionally. I think, like, because how much can we talk about, like, spoiler stuff, I guess, for Colby? Or
you guys can talk about it.
Don't cry.
Well, now I don't even want to see it because it sucks.
I mean, you might like it. I don't know. You're different than
you like
us.
Sucky things.
Yeah, you like things that are stupid.
I do.
Yeah, you like
Friends
Stranger
with you
Things.
guys.
Yeah, but you're leaving us. So,
yeah, that is true.
But like at the very end, Thor basically gets a new companion. If the movie had been like their story, like from the beginning or something, I feel like that would have been a much better movie because Taika does a very good job of like doing partnerships with like a kid and an adult that like go on adventures together. He does that very well.
He should direct the Last of Us series.
I don't know. I don't know if that really fits him, but
an adult with a kid companion. Come on.
Yeah, but it's Last of Us is like really dark and
he does some dark stuff.
Yeah, but like I think for the most part, there's always like a good amount of like hope and like levity in things he does, and there's not a lot of that in Last of Us. So
he could change it up.
Maybe, I don't know, but I would say I wasn't a huge fan of the movie. So
yeah, the tone to me was just also all over the place because you had Christian Bale as Gore, who was like very like serious, and he had a really like emotional story that he was going through, and then sometimes even in the same scene you would have this other character that was just like over the top goofy and just ridiculous. So to me the tone was just a big problem because it was like, what is this movie like trying to tell me? And it was kind of, I don't know. I
did like Christian Bale's character and his story. I thought for the most part, like he was good. I thought there was kind of weird things like their whole fight at when they first meet up in New Asgard. There's just a lot of stuff I think in the movie that just didn't make sense of like why things happened certain ways. There's too much that was like, I'll get you next time, that like just kept happening in this movie. And it's a superhero movie, so that happens, but it felt like it happened too many times in this one. So
what'd you think of Zeus?
Oh, I thought he was funny. I thought he was utilized well. I guess he seemed kind of like that's the kind of character he would be in this sort of universe. So
You would think that.
yeah.
Okay, I need to head out, but thanks for having me, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for being on. You should be on.
It was fun, Bree.
Be on again, but for longer.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Well, maybe if we start on time,
Oh.
Yeah. Oh. Whose fault was that, Colby?
No,
Okay.
no.
I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. What did happen, Colby?
Oh, this morning?
Yeah.
Oh, well, everybody was supposed to, record at 10 a.m. like usual. And then
Oh, it wasn't 10:45.
and then Dave was like, okay, like I'm ready. And then I didn't say anything. I'm just waiting outside Landon's house because he's not here. So Mick has a key. Just sitting there waiting, drinking my coffee, eating my oatmeal, sitting, waiting.
Lifting your weights.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing CrossFit in Landon's front yard. Before I realized Mick wasn't coming. So Dave had to wake him up.
Well,
and then Mick showed up.
I called him at like 9:30 or something, and he just didn't answer. So I was like, he must be in the shower or on his way.
Call me at 9:30.
Or something. Yeah, I called you early this morning. It actually is probably before 9:30.
Oh yeah, you called me at 9.
Oh, yep, there we go.
It's crazy.
So then, we're waiting for Mick, so I call him again, and Mick answers the phone. It sounds like the phone is being dropped between towels and sheets and dirty clothes, and there's like ruffling sounds.
It could have been clean clothes.
It could have been clean clothes, but I knew they were dirty. And then after 8 seconds, the call hangs up, and I realized right away that Michael just woke up. So I give him like 2 minutes and call back later, and my suspicions were confirmed on that call. So that's why Bree had to leave during the show, because we were supposed to start at 10.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway.
You know what, though? Mick rallied. Mick got here.
Mick got here eventually,
Yeah, he did.
and that's what counts.
Will never even showed up.
Yeah, better than Will.
Landon had to work, and he showed up.
Are you going to see the movie, Colby, at some point, or wait
Yeah,
till
probably
it's on
not.
Disney Plus, or see it in theaters?
I'll probably see it in theaters.
I think there are some fun moments in the movie, but I think overall it's also just underwhelming in its in its plot, and in its, I guess, action scenes and stuff. You're not with, like, Thor is with the Guardians at the beginning of the movie because of whatever happened at the end of whatever movie they were in together last, and
I think Endgame, right?
yeah, and they depart ways fairly quickly. I actually probably would have enjoyed if they had spent maybe like some more time together in the movie. I don't know if it's just because of contract reasons or what, limitations with budget or script stuff, but they weren't in the movie very long. It was basically just like, yes, we were still here, but now we're not. And then it was Thor off by himself. So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah, that to me was like, I don't know, kind of the same thing with your Natalie Portman thing. Like, the amount that they were in was, like, to me, kind of pointless.
It was either
and
too much
stupid.
or too little. You like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's just a lot of that in this movie. They do go to some, like, really cool places that I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting to see that in an MCU movie. But even that, just it wasn't enough for me to, like, really like the movie. So, yeah,
What would you rate it?
I think I gave it like a 4 or something.
So 1 thumb up, huh?
Half a 1 thumb.
What?
Wouldn't
Wouldn't that
you
be a
give it, Dave?
2.5?
What would you give this on the Landon head scale?
Oh gosh. Okay, so maybe like 5.5 Landon heads out of 7.
So
yeah,
that's bad.
I told you I wasn't a huge fan of this movie. I did not think it was very good. So,
Is this your least favorite Marvel movie?
I don't know. There's so many of them now. Like, I kind of. Oh no, of course not. There's Eternals.
There's several bad ones.
Dude, Eternals, like they'll have to work really hard to make a movie worse than Eternals. Eternals is straight 7 Landon heads out of 7. So,
And it was like
2 hours and
40 minutes
45 minutes
longer.
long. Yeah. Gosh.
Yeah, that movie was terrible.
I didn't even finish that movie. I couldn't. I was doing my Marvel walkthrough, and it was the last one. I was like, I can't keep going. I just turned it off and chalked it up as a loss.
Yeah, I would say that Phase 4 overall has been pretty bad.
I'd say it's underwhelming.
I really liked Spider-Man.
Spider-Man was really good. I enjoyed Doctor Strange.
I did too.
I was not a
Phase 4
huge
also
Doctor
includes
Strange fan.
like the miniseries too, right?
I guess technically,
WandaVision.
Yeah.
And I really liked Loki as well, but the Captain America one, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I was like, never watched Hawkeye.
Hawkeye was good.
Was it?
Yeah, I liked Hawkeye.
Yeah. Phase 4, not as good as Phase.
Not as good as season 4 of Stranger Things.
That is true.
That's an accurate statement.
You are not wrong. Yeah, that was, I mean, you hoped that it wouldn't be, but it was kind of expected after just the high that Phase 3 ended on. I mean, technically it ended with Spider-Man Far From Home, but...
Which was also a good movie.
It was a good movie, yeah. Mm-hmm. But just those movies had such a clear, like, through line of Thanos being kind of the big bad.
It's pretty cool, like, to go back and rewatch all of them. Like, I found in, like, a lot of movies that they, you know what I mean? Like, he's mentioned or, like, kind of hinted at just real briefly, and, like, everything just went over my head at the time. But, like, in hindsight, when you know, like, how it ends up and you're like, oh, like, they're teasing us in the middle of this movie that's, like, 11 movies away from Thanos on screen. It's like, yeah, they had a clear path.
He had eyebrows in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Thanos did?
Really weird. Yeah.
No, really?
Yeah. It was weird.
Maybe afterwards, Thanos watched Guardians of the Galaxy. He was like, this just doesn't work for me. I need to start waxing. So
Got a pluck.
Yeah.
The MCU has always been weird with eyebrows because Thor also had dyed eyebrows in his first movie.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. I need to try to re-forget it.
Sorry.
I went to high school with a kid who shaved his eyebrows, like with like a razor.
Like on purpose?
Mm-hmm.
Like all the time or just once?
You only do that once.
I have
Is he next to Wolf Girl or?
No, not the same.
Oh,
They didn't run in the same crowd, not the same pack.
but Michael and I have a friend who shaved his eyebrows in high school once also.
What did he do it for? A PS3 or something?
A PSP. So
PSP.
Alex Felt, friend of the show and fan of Colby Chapman for some reason. He
is my biggest fan.
He showed up one day and he had no eyebrows. And I said, what the heck? Where are your eyebrows? And he said...
Well, wasn't he wearing... He was wearing a stocking cap
he
like
wasn't.
Really low?
Nope, he wasn't.
Oh, I thought he was.
No, he showed up with no eyebrows. No. And we said, what the heck? Where are your eyebrows? And he said, my dad said if I shaved my eyebrows, he would give me a PSP. And so he shaved his eyebrows and his dad got him a PSP. So the rest of us started making fun of him because he had no eyebrows. So he left... Came back 10 minutes later with a stocking cap. I think this was like the middle of the summer. And then just wore the stocking cap on his head the whole time, like just covering his brow ridge so we couldn't see. So we basically bullied him into going home. And
that's mean. I can't believe he did that.
I don't feel bad because he got a PSP out of it, and I feel like he understood the risks. Like he was like, get made fun of for a while, get a PSP. Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah. So the guy that shaved his eyebrows at my high school. He did it. He was really nice. I liked him, but like he was really awkward with girls.
Is it because he had no eyebrows?
This is prior.
Oh,
and
did he think shaving his eyebrows would make him better around girls?
Well,
you got to try.
He asked.
New things,
he asked this girl out, and she was like, "I'll do it if you shave your eyebrows." So he shaved his eyebrows, and then she laughed at him because he had no eyebrows.
This is like some like 13 Reasons Why.
Yeah,
crap.
Dude, it was like really messed up. Like.
Jeez. That's horrible.
That's way
that
worse.
Shapes him. Like he will
than the Alex story.
Remember that. I will always remember that. Because I guarantee.
Now I will always remember it, and now our listeners will.
Every time I hear somebody shaving their eyebrows, I'm like,
"What was his name?"
I don't want to.
I'm just kidding.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I'll tell you off air. There's not a lot of people named that.
Is his name Thor?
It's Thanos.
He was also big and purple.
Yeah.
And had a ball sack chin.
Dude, I love Thanos. He looks so funny. He looks like Rick from Pawn Stars. Doesn't
He looks like any like bald guy with a little bit of facial hair. So he also looks like The Rock.
Yeah, he looks like he's gonna wear New Balances and invite you to the cookout, like the barbecue, like mow the lawn,
Sandals with socks on.
the jorts. Yeah.
Jorts. Gosh. Well, anything else you guys want to talk about?
Are you gonna watch The Boys season 3, Mick?
I don't know.
Dave and I finished it. I'm just curious if you planned on watching it.
I don't know. The show just is like so over the top. I've heard some like really disgusting things about the new season. I don't know if I can
Most of
handle
the
it.
disgusting things happen at the start, I would say.
Yeah, I don't know if I
The
could,
first 3 episodes.
if I'm strong enough to.
I mean, I definitely did a lot of like covering the screen with my hands.
Yeah.
And then like just leaving the top so I could see like facial expressions. And then once people stopped being really grossed out, I was like, okay, it's probably safe to look.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I probably won't get around to it.
I think the storyline is worth it. If you liked season 1 and 2, then the storyline's probably worth it. But if it was just kind of like this is like a
I'm not in love with Homelander like Landon is.
Well, he's not like he doesn't.
But Landon's in love with Homelander because Landon's a criminal.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm not a criminal. So
like no one's actually in
get
love
with
with Homelander in that way. If you are,
Landon
you're,
is.
except for
MM's
yeah.
daughter's stepdad.
Yeah, I'm gonna look his name up, but yeah.
Dude, oh, I think it's so good. Like
his name's probably Brad or something.
No, I'm gonna look it up real quick.
the
Go ahead, Dave.
I was gonna say I think you should watch it, Michael. I think it's
Todd.
I think it's probably the best superhero show or movie out there.
I would disagree,
I know.
but I'm glad you have that opinion.
Yeah, it's Todd. His name's Todd.
Todd. That's a good stepfather name. And you said he's a sympathizer of Homelander?
Yes.
I would use a stronger term than sympathizer, but yeah.
He loves Vox News Network.
There's Fox News Network?
Yeah, Vox, right? Isn't that what it is?
I thought it was VOTS.
Oh, VOTS. Sorry, VOTS News.
Yeah, I was like, Vox. Isn't that a...
Vox is a real one, isn't it?
Fox and then Vox. I think it was trying. I don't know.
No, Vox-
maybe it's
Vox
Is that
is
a
a
YouTube
real-
channel?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Isn't that a YouTube channel?
It's
Or a news?
it's a news.
something?
It's a news media.
I don't know. I only get my news from Keemstar.
Oh, what's Keemstar?
Oh, should have said that when Landon and Will were here. Probably would have got more
Landon?
laughs.
You mean instead of 0 laughs? Mick, do you know who
Yeah.
Keemstar is?
He's like this YouTube personality. Like he's so terrible. He's a meme at this point, but like
Keem?
Keem
Keem?
Keem star.
Never heard of him.
He does like news. It's really really cringy. Like, and he's also a bad person, and so whatever. The joke didn't hit.
Would he like Homelander?
Probably not.
Okay.
I think there's a select group of people that would like.
Is it this
Homelander.
guy with the beard?
Yeah,
Never seen him or heard of him.
he does like really stupid news. He never covers anything important. It's always like, oh, these 2 YouTubers are having beef. Like, here's why. It's so stupid.
Sounds really cool.
So, I was gonna say that sounds like horrible content.
Yeah, no, it is. That's why I made the joke. That's where I get all my news from. But nobody.
How's
Make the joke
Jensen
again.
Ackles?
Make the joke again.
Do you promise to laugh?
Yes.
How was Jensen Ackles in the show?
I thought he was really good. He's what's his name?
Is he playing Soldier Boy?
Soldier Boy. He's kind of like a Captain America sort of stand-in. But like at the beginning of the season, like you think that he's dead and that he's been dead for years, and then a couple episodes in, you learn no, he's not dead. He's somewhere
Alive.
else. Yeah, he's alive. And so basically the season, the whole kind of like big thing of the season is the boys trying to find him to use him as a weapon against Homelander, because basically kind of like the ultimate goal of the show is to like take down Vought and take down Homelander, because Homelander is this extremely evil
Powerful. He's the most powerful being.
who is like has kind of the mind of a child and like the emotions of a child at times, and is extremely dangerous and kills people willy nilly, and so they're trying to find a way to kill him. So Soldier Boy is kind of what they think is their solution to this problem. So, but no, I thought he was really good. He's kind of like he's like really gruff because it's kind of like if Captain America like was actually a guy from the 40s and acted like a guy from the 40s, you know?
Yeah.
And then
so he kind of plays that stereotypical like old man will say anything kind of,
yeah. But he's not old, you know, because he doesn't age.
Well,
so,
yeah.
But he's I don't know. He's kind of like a more, I don't know, realistic portrayal of what you think like someone like Captain America would actually be like, you know,
Well, they're all realistic portrayals of superheroes.
Yeah.
Like,
realistic being a loose.
They're they're realistic.
Maybe less sensationalized or kind of more I don't know, more believable, possibly like in a real world. I mean, it's still like a very crazy world with like superheroes and stuff, but it does seem like it's much less romanticized. That's the thing that this show does very well. It's not a romanticized world with superheroes. It's extremely complex and dark and scary for people who don't have superpowers because and that's kind of the big thing is like it's the boys, it's these people that have been like wronged by people with superpowers, and there's nothing they can do about it for the most part except for finding like the smallest chances they can to fight back and to get some kind of like justice or revenge for these people who have like caused
chip away at them.
who have caused like horrible acts to humanity or to people. So
there's one scene that I'm going to spoil. Homelander in season 1 is like good guy, face of the company, face of all superheroes. He is America's superhero, like, and then like he slowly, like you see more and more of who he really is like he starts to break character, like behind when he's off camera and stuff like that. And so season 3, you go into it and you just know he's like full evil.
Well, that facade by the end of the season is entirely gone. Like people know who the real Homelander is
because he cracks on camera.
So, and there are people that are still like okay with that. Like there are people who are on board with who the real Homelander is. Not just the like persona that we had seen.
They become kind of like an extremist group.
Yeah,
but
run by Landon.
Yeah. There is one scene though. Homelander, you know, he can fly, so he flies up onto the roof of this building to save this suicidal woman who is like threatening to jump. There's news crews and paramedics and fire department all there.
Wait, can I guess what happens?
Go ahead.
Just based on what I know from the show and what I've seen from the show, I'm going to guess that you said it's Homelander that does it. I'm going to guess that he, I don't know, doesn't save her, maybe even pushes her off or something, and then lies about it.
Yeah. So, very good guess.
Is that what happens?
Essentially. So, like,
possibly.
He flies up there and he's talking to her, and he's like so fed up with everything because now there's people like other superheroes that are against him. Right. So he's at a breaking point and he's becoming unhinged. He's up there, he's talking to her, and after talking to her, go ahead.
The situation is funny too because like it's kind of ridiculous because isn't it it's his birthday, right?
It is his birthday, yeah.
And the reason he's doing this is because every birthday he picks someone who's going to commit suicide and saves them. Like, and so he goes up there and he's like, "All right, you're the one this year. I'm like, congratulations, I'm saving you." So like, like, so the situation like is funny because I think it's the company makes him do this. I don't think he's just like doing this on his own. Like that he wants to spend part of his birthday like saving suicidal people. So
yeah, and so they're up on this roof. He's talking to her, and then he just starts to get way more agitated as the conversation progresses, and eventually
it's more just a monologue too. It's really just him talking.
She's just kind of like standing there watching him, and she's like really scared. And he's like, I don't even want to do this because it's my birthday. So you know what? Do it. And she's like, oh, I don't think I want to anymore. And he's like, I'm not asking you. And she's like, no. I don't want to. And then it pans to like the street, and then she's just gone. Like
you just see her fall or something.
No, you don't see her fall.
You see her splat.
You see her everywhere. But like when people fall at terminal velocity, they don't explode. So it leaves you like the viewer now has
They
to.
don't explode.
Well, they don't explode.
What do they do?
They don't explode like that. So like
She probably didn't reach terminal velocity from a building.
It only takes 30 feet.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
Prove it.
Google it.
You Google
Colby's like, how high is Landon's roof?
it. I'll show you.
No, but like, so it just leaves it up to the viewer to interpret. Like, yeah, she was clearly picked up by Homelander and thrown to the ground. Like, I don't. It's just like a really tense.
In that case, she probably did reach terminal velocity if she was thrown.
Colby, Google says it takes about 12 seconds, which is 1,500 feet.
Yeah, you moron.
I thought it took 30 feet.
30 feet to reach terminal velocity?
That is nothing.
I'm gonna Google it.
There's not even enough wind resistance at that point to equal it out.
They're also in like New York, so could have been.
Oh, I guess the wind resistance is different in New York.
Well, the buildings are taller.
Was it a taller building?
Probably.
You saw it. What did it look like?
I saw the top and I saw the bottom.
So you saw the whole building.
No, I didn't see it in one frame. She's up top, and then instantly she's at the bottom. I don't know how.
Anyway, I really liked season 3. Season 3 might be the best. I mean, it might be like with like Stranger Things, where I think it kind of gets better as it goes along. Yeah, I'm very interested to see what happens with the next season based off of how season 3 ended. So,
how many seasons do you think there will be?
I have no clue. I don't know the reference material. I haven't read any of the comics, so I really don't know anything about the actual story. So I don't know where they're going or anything like that. I mean, I could see the show going for another season or two. I feel like a lot of these shows,
I think they have one more.
they can wrap up basically within one season. Like I think Stranger Things could have done that.
The comic book is not good. It's actually pretty bad.
Have you read it?
I have. Yeah.
Oh.
It's not.
You don't like
I've
it?
heard
or-
that they spin off from the comic book, though. Like,
As much as I like, I'm not that big of a fan of the show. The show is better than the comic. There's a lot of stupid things in the comic.
I've
book.
had no desire to like read the comics. So
yeah, I don't know. But I mean, they definitely left it open for season 4.
oh, of course, yes.
The end scene is menacing.
Yes, very much so.
I think there is some gross scenes. I think you would probably enjoy it overall.
I would enjoy the gross scenes.
No, the
No,
show.
but everything else.
Overall.
I think the show kind of outweighs the gross scenes, but
I feel like the show is just the gross
keep, like,
scenes.
I don't
though.
think so. Like,
That just feels like so like prominent.
well, there's certain things like the Frenchie Kimiko story. I think is really good and really compelling. Frenchie, I think, is probably my favorite character in the show. So, like, a lot of their interaction, there's a lot of it in this season. Like, I wouldn't say it's gross, but it's part of the show that I think is really good. So I'd say it's part of the show that isn't gross, that is good.
Nope, you're wrong.
Oh, okay.
I really like MM and his
Yeah.
storyline.
Mother's milk
Mama's milk?
or mama's milk?
There's also a scene with Homelander and Milk.
Yeah.
What? Never expected that.
He finds a cow. He finds
Isn't
a
there
bucket.
every season has a scene with him and milk? I feel.
Yeah.
Gosh.
But
I don't know. Maybe I'll get around to it.
if you do, you do. If you don't,
I don't.
you don't. That's the other option.
That is, or I'll reach terminal velocity.
I think for someone who watches
How?
and enjoys so many superhero properties, I think The Boys is something that supplements it well because it's so satirical.
Kind of refreshing.
Yes, I think it's so satirical about other superhero stuff that I don't know, it kind of just makes you appreciate other things as well in different ways. And I think the more knowledge you have about other superhero properties, the more you can appreciate and enjoy like kind of underlying tones and kind of the whole story overall of what The Boys is trying to tell.
Yeah. And I really like every time they introduce a new superhero, like I enjoy it because now I can like compare it to who it's based off of. Like,
And you get a little scared. You're like, is this person like a dirtbag,
Yeah.
just like most people in the world, or are they good enough that like you will be able to like them as a person? And for the most part,
Right.
they're dirtbags because I think if people like we know in the world when people have a lot of power, like whether it be like financially or otherwise, most people don't do the best things with that. So it's you kind of have that analog with these superheroes. These people that most people that have superpowers in the show are not really good people, and they abuse their power much more than they use it to help humanity. So that's why it focuses so much on these people who are hurt by those people and how they try to fight back with just by being normal people.
Cool.
Yeah.
What other show?
Will would watch it, but he doesn't have Amazon Prime. It's a real shame.
Are there any other shows on right now that you guys are watching? Or?
Nah,
I still need to see Umbrella Academy.
I'll probably start that.
About that.
I'll probably
There's
start
so much that came out all at one time. And I need to see The Staircase.
Oh, yes. You need to watch the Staircase documentary. Landon and Megan said that they've been watching it, so they're partway into it. Mick, you should watch that too. It's really good.
What is that on?
It's on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Yep. It's a 11 or 12 episode documentary.
I thought it was 12, but I haven't seen it yet.
Very, very compelling. And the farther you get into it, the more you're like, this is insane.
That's how you know it's a good documentary.
Yes. And as much as
I love documentaries.
And this is a true crime documentary that involves, like a murder and a trial. And as you're watching it, you cannot predict what's going to keep happening. It's like that insane. Mm-hmm. So I would say check it out. I really want to talk about it on the show, so I want someone else to finish it.
I'll try. I really have been into like true crime these last couple weeks. Like I've always really enjoyed it, but like I don't know. It's like last week I listened to like a 4-episode podcast on the Zodiac killer, and now
Case File.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Zodiac?
No, and so I like now I'm gonna watch that. Like, I don't know. It just especially like him, dude. It just captivates me.
Zodiac was a really interesting movie.
I like Zodiac.
I liked
Robert Downey Jr.'s character.
I like his character. What's the actor's name?
Mark Ruffalo?
No. Why can't I think of the guy's
name? Jake Gyllenhaal.
I liked his character a lot in the movie.
Yeah, he's like a kind of a inquisitive journalist, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was that a David Fincher movie?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Yeah, so if you want to see Iron Man, the Hulk, and Mysterio team up, then this is the movie for you.
Yep. And fight against the guy from Umbrella Academy. Who is he?
Which guy?
He's He's the other guy that wears a mask. Oh. Like the tall guy.
Oh, the guy with is that a panda mask or?
Yeah, something like that. I think he's in Zodiac, isn't he?
Richard?
Or am I wrong?
Arquette?
I think you're wrong.
I'm probably wrong. Yeah, I'm wrong. Forget it. No, he is in Mindhunter, another David Fincher property.
Yeah, that because he's Ed Kemper, right?
Yes. So,
that gives me the chills.
Forget about
like
that.
Yeah.
Well, should we wrap up?
Yeah. Did you have a quiz or anything for us to do?
No, I have not finished the quiz.
I've got 3 more hours.
I've not finished the quiz, so I apologize. Actually, you know what though? Just a second.
Tell me.
I actually have one question. Because when I did my last quiz, I accidentally skipped one of the offices of the Department of the Interior, which is the Office of Surface Mining, Reclamation, and Enforcement. So they were created in 1977. They were entrusted with the implementation and enforcement of the Surface Mining Control and Reclamation Act of 1977, which established a set of environmental standards that coal mines must follow while operating and achieve when reclaiming mined land in order to minimize environmental impact. So, do you guys know, like, can you give me, like, in the most roundabout way, or, like, the most specific way, what is coal?
It's an ore.
Can you be more specific?
Coal is, like, compact carbon that burns easily.
Dude, look at you.
It's a fuel source. I've played Minecraft, dude. I know.
Combustible black or brownish black sedimentary rock. It is mostly carbon with variable amounts of other elements, chiefly hydrogen, sulfur, oxygen, and nitrogen. So in 2018, 5 states, Wyoming, West Virginia, Kentucky, Illinois, and Pennsylvania, they produced almost 3/4 of all coal production nationwide, with Wyoming producing 304.2 million short tons, which was about 40% of U.S. coal production.
Dang.
So it was the first state to allow women...
Wyoming going dummy crazy.
Wyoming was the first state to allow women the right to vote, the right to assume elected office, and the first state to elect a female governor. So I have some.
Who would have thought Wyoming was the most progressive state?
So I have a really quick state nickname quiz. So do you guys know what state?
You did have a quiz.
What state is called the equality state?
Wyoming.
It's Wyoming. Good job. Okay. Do you know what state is called the mountain state or the panhandle state?
I want to say Colorado,
California.
but you said Panhandle.
Yeah.
California.
Probably.
It's also called
Gold Rush.
Almost Heaven.
West Virginia.
West Virginia. Good job. Okay. Do you guys know what state is called the bluegrass state?
Regular Virginia.
Mick?
Mick's Googling it.
What is?
No, stop.
No. Bluegrass state.
The bluegrass state.
Tennessee.
It's Kentucky. Kentucky
Or
bluegrass.
Kentucky?
Okay. This one is called the prairie state or land of Lincoln.
Hold on.
Nebraska.
I was gonna say Nebraska, but I'm gonna go with Illinois.
It is Illinois. Good job, Colby.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, before I read the last nickname, can anyone guess what the state is?
Oh, we're not gonna do all.
No. There's only 5. Can anyone guess what the last state is? There has been a very
It's Pennsylvania.
It's Pennsylvania. Good job, Colby. I'm glad you were paying attention. So Pennsylvania.
Am I a good listener, Dave?
You are a good listener, Colby. So Pennsylvania is called the Keystone
good listener?
state. Well, do you know what those 5 states are, Michael?
Am I a good listener?
Yeah. Why did we do those? I should have picked up on the trend earlier, but
I don't know.
Colby,
because
do you want to tell him?
because those 5 states produce like X amount of
Yeah,
coal.
these were the top 5 states for coal production.
What does coal have to do anything with what we were talking about?
Because of the land.
Because of the
Mining
Office
Act
of Surface Mining and
1977.
Reclamation and Enforcement. So
You guys pulled coal out of nowhere.
Pennsylvania is called the Keystone State or the Quaker State.
I was kind of like curious because Dave's like, in 1977, the act of the government was, and then like next thing you know, he's like, and can you guess what state this is? And I was like, what?
When I did this, so this is part of the Department of the Interior quiz from many weeks ago now, I accidentally scrolled over this office. So anyway, that was my very short quiz this week. Good job, Colby and
Thank you.
Michael.
You don't have to pretend.
Good job, Colby.
Thanks.
Anyway, thanks for the quiz, Dave.
You're welcome.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yep, we'll be back next week. Bye.
Maybe we'll be back this week. You don't know.
Well, I mean, you think I'm going to edit 2 episodes in a week? Like, come on. Let's
Dave
get
can't
real.
even episode 1 episode in a week.
Yeah, good point.
Come on.
Good point. All right.
Anyway, we'll talk to everybody next time
Bye.
on the Hotkeys podcast.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye. We're running up the hill. I make a deal with God. Get on the places. I'm hearing that song like everywhere on the radio now.
It's the #1 song in America.
It is. Great song.
Even more than Metallica's Master of Puppets.
Whoa. Spoiler.
Oh, spoilers for episode 9.
Don't spoil the soundtrack.
Please, Dave.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Hotkeys podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Castbox, YouTube, and other podcasting platforms. Visit our website, www.hotkeyspodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter at Hotkeys Podcast and join our Facebook group at facebook.com/HKHotkeys. Please like and review us and subscribe to the show on whichever platforms you use. Finally, you can contact us via email at hosts@hotkeyspodcast.com.